everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a Chanel day. Chanel Spring 2021. I have the blush highlighter, the mascara, the Rouge Allure. I never know if it's lac. I mean, it says lac, but it should be like lacquer. But anyway, lac in 77, which is dark blossom. And then I have on my nails the nail polish. There were 3 nail polishes. I think 2 were limited edition, this being one of them, in Pensée. And if you watched my, what video did I do it on? I don't even remember. Charlotte Tilbury, Christian Dior, I don't know. But I showed you that I have it on my nails, so that's what it looks like. I have very pale skin, so as you can see, it's kind of matches my skin tone. So what I'm gonna do, I have a full face of Chanel on, except for my brows, which are Gucci. I'm gonna go through and show you the new blush highlighter and the mascara, and we'll do a Chanel quad on my eye, just a simple look so we can blend it all in. But I also wanna do comparisons with the new blush highlighter, which looks like this, with some other recent additions to my collection and some older ones. So if you're interested in seeing all that, just stay tuned. Okay, so I brought you in a little bit closer so that you can get a better look. And I'm certainly gonna pull back my hair because, as you know, if you watch my channel, my hair gets in the way of absolutely everything. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the collection. I'm sure you guys have heard already that the 2 quads that came out, the spring quads, are not available in the US. The reasoning behind that, you know, they were available on the Chanel site for like a second, and they basically said back ordered or sold out. I forget which one said which. And then they just disappeared, and then we were told they weren't coming. So I'm gonna assume it had something to do with, you know, COVID and the shipping issues and all of that good stuff. It is what it is. So I have the blush and highlighter duo. I have the mascara. I have the nail polish, and one of the nail polishes, and I have the lac that came out. I did not get the lipsticks. The eye quads. I actually might have the eye quads coming. I'm not gonna promise them because shipping, you know, there are issues, but I may have them. If I do have them, I will of course show them to all of you. So I will say that. So let's go ahead and look at the blush highlighter, which I think is really the star of this collection, since we don't have the eye quads to look at least not yet. So I don't have anything on my face right now, so we'll put bronzer on afterwards. So let me swatch this for you. And I mean, the pattern is beautiful, of course. I mean, you know, that's not a shock with Chanel. But whether or not the shades will work on me being as pale as I am, I don't know. We'll see. Usually Chanel is pretty friendly to more mature skin, and oftentimes their pigments are not as intense, so they work well on me, which is actually one of the reasons that I like Chanel, which is also one of the reasons some people don't like Chanel, because they're not, like if you're talking about like a Natasha Denona or a Pat McGrath, much more pigmented shades in their eye quads. What I would say though is I worked for Chanel many, seems like eons ago, and there were many quads that actually were quite pigmented. So I think it's been more recently that we've seen that, but we won't get into that today. So let's talk a little bit about comparisons to this, and then we'll put it on my face. So first, I have the Radiance Chic Cheek and Highlighter Duo in Rose from Chantecaille. This came out last summer, I believe. I think this is the Manta Ray. I'm not absolutely sure, but it's the Rose. And you can see there's actually a similar color story there. The highlighter though, I think is much more gold. So we're gonna go into that really quickly and just, you know, do a comparison so you can see it. I'll put this in the same, put the blush here and the highlighter first. Because I think that's one that might be something that people have in their collection who also have Chanel. You can see though, it is very different. This is the highlighter, and here's the blush for the Chantecaille. The pink is similar, but this is a brighter, almost more, like neon pink, if you will, and this is definitely more peachy. At least on me. I mean, shades can go different, you know, on different people. The Guerlain. This is the Guerlain Pink Pearl that just came out. And if you did not, that was what I showed you the Chanel nail polish in the Guerlain video. Okay, I need some sleep. So this is the Pink Pearl. I'm trying to do it without having it like fall, because the pearls will come out and go everywhere. And if you watched that video, you know I use this as a blush because it's a very, very pink. And on me, it doesn't really work as an all over powder. I have tried it. I can do it, but it still looks a little too pink, to me anyway, because I'm so pale. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this little cushion that's in here. I'm gonna run it over the pearls, and I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be a broader swath, but I want you to see the pink that's here. So it is a similar tone actually to the Chantecaille. The Chantecaille is, you know, brighter, but it has that like almost Barbie-ish pink shade, whereas the Chanel is actually much more peachy. So when you're looking at the Meteorites, if you're looking at it for blush, this is much more of what I would consider a true pink. And the Chanel is definitely more of a peachy pink. And also, this is gonna be a very sheer, if you're using the Meteorites as a blush, which is what I did, it was a beautiful blush. I actually really like it on me. I think it looks really nice. It looks like a nice flush. You can build it a little bit, especially if you're using a brush and not the sponge. But the thing is, it's not meant to, I mean, it's not a blush. It's a illuminating powder. So it is gonna be much more sheer. And it's gonna be beautiful and almost like ethereal, but it's not gonna have the same impact that this is gonna have for the Chanel. The other thing that I wanna mention is something that just came in the mail, and you'll have a video up of this soon. How soon, I just don't know, because I have other stuff going on. But, you know, this is the Natasha Denona. Gotta love the packaging. Love Cheek Duo. This is the mini. Now, I have the Love palette, the big one. I did not pick up the Love face palette, the one that had the 4 in it, but I did pick this up. And the reason I did is that I actually liked this look here, this highlighter. The cheek, I'm not so sure about, to be honest with you, but the highlighter actually looked interesting to me because I like a pinky kind of highlight. So let's put that one first. Yeah, you can see this is pinkier. This is more pink than the Chanel. The Chanel is definitely a peachier shade than the Natasha Denona. Here's the Natasha Denona right here. In fact, I'll put them next to each other so you can see. If you put them next to each other, you can definitely see the difference. This one is much more of a true pink, and it actually has a little bit, it's not purple, but it's got like a little bit like almost lavender kind of shade to it, which I think will be very pretty when I actually get around to using it. And then there's the cream blush, which like I said, I'm not sure I'm gonna love this, but we'll see. And it looks a lot more like the Chantecaille, except it's cream. I would say this is definitely much more pink than the Chanel. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. It gives you a comparison. I'll hold it up again. So here's the Chanel, these two here. Here's the Chantecaille. Here's the Meteorites Pink Pearl. Here is the highlight in the Natasha Denona, and next to the Chanel highlight. And here is the Natasha Denona Cream Blush, and I'll put it next to the Chanel blush just so you can see that. You'll see how much peachier it is. And like I said, guys, I promise I'll have the Natasha Denona up soon. There's like so much going on. Okay, so as usual, like I just have too much to do. So let's go ahead and put the highlighter and blush on first, and then I'll put some bronzer on, because I really want you guys to see the blush and the highlight. That's really the purpose of today. So let's go ahead and put the highlight on first. I'm just thinking of which brush I want to use. I think I want to use like a soft, yeah. Let's use the Kyoto Akabeko brush. This has fast become like one of my favorite brushes, this little red cow brush. I just really like it. It's a very soft gray squirrel brush, and I like the way it lays down product. Even though it's a very soft brush, it really lays down product well. At least I find that it does. It picks it up well, and you can see like it grabs product, but when it lays it down, it just does it in a very smooth way. So, okay, so let's try the highlight here. Very pretty. Very peachy, beautiful shade. Again, I'm using a very soft brush. I will go in with a little bit denser brush so you can see what it would look like if, you know, we put it on with a heavier hand, if you will. But I always like to go in with a soft brush first so you can just kind of see how beautiful that is. Just really, really nice, pretty highlight. Now, it's not accentuating any texture, but again, I don't have a ton of texture on my face. I have many other issues, but texture isn't too bad, so I don't really see that as a problem. It's just a really pretty peach highlight. I mean, it just looks very pretty. Chanel does a really good job with their products for more mature skin generally. You know, nothing's perfect, but generally they come out well. So let me take, this is a Rephr 20 brush, and let me just kind of go back in. Yeah, okay. You can see it, you can definitely make that more intense. And it's not like, I don't usually wear highlighter that much, but I want you to be able to see how pretty that is. Okay, so let's go in to the blush side. So this is Sonia G Classic Cheek? Yeah, Classic Cheek. And I'm going over the highlighter today because I just think that's a nice blend. I think it makes it a little softer. Oh yeah, it's really pretty. I think this is a relatively pigmented blush for Chanel. Like, this is not like the tweed blushes. The tweed blushes are not particularly pigmented. This one is. And I would say you could definitely use this on a deeper skin tone than mine. I think someone mentioned in a comment the other day, Susanna Torres has done a review of this and has it on her face. So if you're interested in a little bit of a different skin tone, I think check out her video and you can see. I'm looking around because somewhere, here it is. I'm like, somewhere I have the top to this. So it comes with like the little plastic cover and the little brush, which I never use. So it looks like that when it comes, and of course in the classic Chanel. So these are of course made in Italy. I'm just looking for the 18 months shelf life, and yeah, 0.28 ounces. So I mean, it's a beautiful highlight. I really like it. I think it's got a nice peachy tone. Looks really good with my skin tone. I have very much a cool skin tone, peachy rose undertone. So for me, this is like a perfect match for what I'm looking for. It's definitely peach and not rose, as you saw with the swatches on my hand. So if you were concerned and you don't want like that rosy look, then I think this is great. If you're looking for more rose, more pink, the Natasha Denona is probably the way to go. Because it's out. Well, it will be out on the 28th. So yeah, so I think it's beautiful. And it makes sense that it's kind of a peach, because if you look at the eye quads, although I don't have them in hand, they looked like that warmer toned, pinky kind of, not orange, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like the gold and amber and and golden, it didn't look pink. So it makes sense that the blush is a, you know, a peachier kind of blush and highlighter. But I really like it. I think it looks stunning. Okay, so I'm gonna do, since I don't have the eye quads, I'm gonna do a look with the Opulence palette that came out 2019 at the end of the year. I think it was 2019. Let me put on a little bit of bronzer first. I'm using the Le Beiges. This is in Sunset. I know you've seen me use this before. It's actually a good powder for me for a bronzer. It's not really technically supposed to be a bronzer, I don't think. I think it's supposed to be powder. But for me, you know, it works as a bronzer. So I do use the Tan de Chanel a lot when I'm using, you know, Chanel products, cream products. But I didn't want to put it on with this because I didn't want it to interrupt with the look that I was trying to do. So yeah, that's why I didn't use that product. But this works really well, I think, as a bronzer for me. It's light enough that it gives me a little bit of bronze, warms up my skin, but it doesn't overpower me. Yeah, and I really like it. So this is actually one of my favorite powders by Chanel, even though technically I'm using it as a bronzer. All right, so let's, like I said, we're gonna do a very simple look because I wanna talk about the mascara and the lac because they are new. The nail polish is pretty self-explanatory. It's Chanel nail polish. If you like Chanel nail polishes, this is a really good one if you're looking for a pale peachy pink. You can see, I'll try to get as close as I can to the camera so you can see it. But yeah, it's very much like a peachy pink neutral. It's actually very pretty. I mean, I like it. And I like Chanel nail polishes. I always have. I think they work really well. So I'm just gonna use two shades today. I'm gonna use these two non-green shades. I know, shocking. But there's like a brown shade and then there's like a, you'll see in a second. You'll see in a moment. And I'm just gonna do, like I said, a really simple look. I'm going with the Chikuhodo F06. I know sometimes I say I'm going to do a really simple look and it's not, but today, I promise you, this is super simple. This is one of my favorite shades by Chanel. This particular shade, it's just like a nice champagne color, and it's got like some shimmer to it, and I use it a lot actually because it just kind of goes with everything else. And when you're looking for something like quick and easy, those are the kinds of shades I think work well for me. Because you know, when I don't have time, I don't want to have to figure out if something is gonna be contrasting or if it has to match or I need to do a different liner. This is just a very simple shade. Like I said, it's a champagne. I think the Opulence still exists. I think you can still buy it, I'm pretty sure. So if it is something that you're interested in, it also has some beautiful olive greens in here, which I absolutely love. So I'm gonna go into the deep brown shade. This is a Wayne Goss 04, and all I'm gonna do is put some in the corner, concentrating there, and then just lightly go back and forth. That's it. And I put the champagne shade on first instead of the brown because when you mix the brown with the champagne shade, you actually get a little bit of a cooler shade than if you put the brown on first and put the champagne over it. Because when the brown mixes with the champagne, it kind of turns, not purple, because that's not right, but like it gets to be like almost like a mushroomy color because of the champagne on top of underneath it. It's amazing how when you mix colors, good like shadows, you make up all new colors, which is great. So I'm gonna buff it in. This is the Wayne Goss number 3, and I'm just buffing that all in. Super simple, like the simplest look you could possibly imagine. That took me like a minute, like no time at all. Okay, so let's do, I'm trying to think if I wanna do liner because I really wanna show you the mascara. Let's just do the mascara. I don't wanna put liner on because I feel like if I do that, then you're not gonna really be able to see this. So what I'm gonna do is something a little weird, but I think it might be interesting. So this is the Terracotta mascara. This is the traditional wand that Chanel has. And I'm gonna put the Terracotta on this eye, and then I'm gonna put the black on this eye. And let's see if we can actually see any difference at all. So I'm gonna curl my lashes, and then I'll go ahead and do it, and then we'll see what we think. Okay, lashes are curled. So let's start with the Terracotta. Now, I'll tell you guys, back in the day when they like color, when different colors of mascara were like really popular, when there was like blues and greens and stuff, I did play around with lots of different shades. And what I found was that honestly, you could never really see them. The only time it ever looked different to me is like when you had like an electric blue one, then you could kind of notice that there was a difference. And the reason is, at least for me, is my lashes are very, very dark. My lashes are not black, but they're close. So, you know, if you put a color over that, it doesn't really show up. You can't really discern the difference. Now, if you had really light lashes, if you're a very pale haired person, then I think you'll notice the difference a lot more. But I think if you are, you know, someone who has brown hair or black hair or deep red hair or whatever it is, you know, a darker tone, I don't think the different shades of mascara matter as much. Now, I will say that, of course, it's gonna look more subtle than a black. It won't look as dramatic. So maybe if you're looking for like something that's not as stark as a black mascara, this might be a good choice for you. But other than that, I don't think you're gonna actually be able to see like the terracotta shade on your eyelashes. We'll see, but I would doubt it. It looks pretty. It's the same formula. I mean, I can tell that. I've been using the Chanel mascara for a very long time. And yeah, I mean, it feels the same. It doesn't feel different. Definitely lengthens your lashes, coats them well. Don't notice any irritation. Okay, one eye done. So let's do the other eye with the black. And then I'll bring you in really close and you can tell me what you think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against like different shades of mascara. I mean, I have a lot of friends who only wear like brown mascara because they just don't like the starkness of a black against, you know, their eye. They want something that's more subtle. They want something less dramatic. I have always been of the opinion to go the other way. Like, I like mascaras that are like pitch black, that have no brown, that are very intense, because I feel like I have long eyelashes, so I like to, you know, I like to have that be a centerpiece of my look. So I tend to go with very dark mascaras, and very rarely, in fact, I don't think I own any other shade. Well, now I do. Now I have terracotta. But before that, I mean, I think they're all black. Don't think I have anything else. Like an electric blue or something would be fun. I had one of those back in the day, and I did wear it from time to time. It showed up a little, like you could see it, but it wasn't, you know. Again, my lashes are pretty dark, so I think you'd have to have a lighter lash to really notice. Okay. So that's like 1.5 coats. That's all I really do. I don't like do multiple layers of mascara. So let me bring you in close so you can see if you think there's a difference. And then we'll try the lac. Okay guys, so terracotta here, black here. I think there's a subtle difference. I think this eye looks a little more subtle than this eye. Like my lashes don't stand out as much. but to be honest, I don't notice a huge difference. Just looks like brown mascara, like, or a lighter black. I'm not saying it's not pretty. I'm just, you know, I don't see the terracotta, like, kind of shiny color that it actually is in the tube. Okay, so let's try the LAC. Now, if you saw my video, I did try a couple of these. This was back in December, and I'll try to link that so you guys can see it. So this is shade 77, and my understanding is that this is a limited shade. I think it is. And this is in Dark Blossom. That's the shade. All right, well, let's put them on the lips and see what we think. So I think that's a really pretty shade. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it's almost like, what would I call that? It's like a burgundy shade. It has like a bit of a metallic to it. And I think it's really pretty. My commentary on the LACs is what I mentioned last time. I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be because it says on the cover they are the Ultra Wear Shine Liquid Lip Color. And I don't really think they're shiny. Like, they go on shiny, but they dry down to kind of like a matte formula almost. So because they're ultra wear, like you can wear them for a long time. So although I like the shades and I think they look pretty, like I think this is a really pretty shade, I almost automatically feel like I want to put a gloss on it because it feels a little tight. It feels a little uncomfortable. And so I prefer the velvet, the Lions, the velvets that came out recently, and that formula, the velvet formula. Although the velvet formula is a matte, it's creamier than this. This is like drier. Now I understand it's an ultra wear, so that's the point, right? You're gonna wear it longer and maybe even could wear it under a mask if you let this dry down. So that's the purpose of it. So I totally get that. But it doesn't look at all shiny to me. The ones that look shiny, at least for a little while, are the Chanel Tenues. Those, you're gonna have a shine with those and they are gonna last all day and they don't feel uncomfortable. This one, it feels okay, but I wouldn't say that it's comfortable. The velvet mattes are more comfortable. I would also say though, the velvet mattes do come off. Like, they don't stay on your lips. These, from what I've seen, they smudge, but they do, like, the pigment stays on. You know what I mean? So, like, you're still gonna have pigment left behind. So I think, like, that's the point of them. And I think, of course, it's in response to, all of us wearing masks. This is a compromise that you could do. So for that reason, yeah, I think it's a decent idea. I just don't love them. For me personally, if I'm gonna wear a mask, I just don't wear anything underneath it, and I just don't. And then if I'm in a situation where I can take the mask off in my house, then I put some lipstick on. Until the point that I, can walk around without mask on, I'm probably not gonna wear a lot of lip products. That's why I haven't bought as many lipsticks, like Chanel, the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks that have come out, and the hyaluronic. They look really cool, and I definitely want to get some. I hope they stay as permanent parts of her collection, but right now I'm just not gonna pick them up because I'm not wearing stuff. If you do want to wear stuff under your mask, I totally get that. It's a personal decision. I think this might be a good choice because I think, although it does feel a little tacky and I think it would come off, I don't think all of it would come off. Because I wore one of these the other day and it did stay on pretty well most of the day. I didn't wear a mask over it, but it stayed. Like, it definitely keeps. So it's not like the Chanel Tenues. It's not gonna wear through anything, including a microfiber towel. If you watch that video, I literally tried to scrub them off and I couldn't get it off. This will come off, but it's definitely gonna be much more long wearing than any lipstick that you're gonna wear. So it's kind of a compromise between the two, which I get. I mean, that makes sense. But I do really like the color. I think this color is really pretty. I just feel the need to put a gloss on over it. But I have really dry skin, guys, like super dry. So, especially during the winter, lately my lips hurt. They're so dry. And I have a humidifier next to my bed, and I wear the Laneige lip mask at night. I honestly don't know what else to do. I mean, my lips are so dry, they crack. And, you know, I'm trying everything I possibly can, including drinking a lot more water. So anyway, so that's the collection, at least for what there is right now. If I do get the quads, I will certainly show them to you guys. I'd like to have them as part of my collection. You know, I love Chanel, and I think those shades are actually perfect for me, and they look great. So I do want to have them, but we'll just, you know, we're gonna have to see. The mascara, in my opinion, it's not worth it. Stick with the black. It looks really pretty. Unless you want, you know, a Chanel mascara that's not black, and then sure, pick it up. But I don't think there's anything special about it. I don't think you can see the terracotta. I don't see that at all. The nail polish, I really like this color. It's just it almost matches my skin tone perfectly. Like when I hold my hands like this, you can't even tell I have nail polish, you know what I mean? Like blends, which actually makes my fingers look longer, and I have very short fingers, so that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. So I really like the shade. And the blush highlighter is beautiful. I mean, it really is. I knew it was gonna be the star of the collection. That doesn't surprise me, but I absolutely love it. I love the formula. I just think it looks just stunning on the skin. No, you know, it's not accentuating anything. It's a great color story for me. It blends. Now, I did go in light, as I usually do. I didn't try to like buff it out too much or put too much on. So what I'm gonna do here at the end is I'm just gonna put like more of the blush on, because I want you to see. I really think I'm very pale, and I think it looks really nice, but I really do think this is gonna work on people who like more intense blush. So here we go. See? It really is quite pigmented, guys, and everyone, I shouldn't say guys. It really is quite pigmented, and I think will work well on people with a deeper skin tone than I do, which is pretty much everyone, or people who just like, you know, more blush. I tend to go light on my blush, so if you like more blush, I think this will definitely work for you. So if you're looking for, you know, a light peachy pink, I think it will work great. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit stronger, I think it's gonna work great. Great formula, beautiful on. I think it looks really pretty. Definitely peachier than the Guerlain Meteorites, which is definitely more of a pink. Same with the Rose Chantecaille. I don't have the coral one, so the coral one might be different. And then the new Natasha Denona is definitely pink, like in comparison to this. It looks more like the Chantecaille. I think that's it, guys. I think that covered it. I'll have all the other Chanel items that I'm wearing. I have some powder on, and of course I did the Sunset bronzer, and the foundation is the Sublimage. I'll make sure it's all in the description box as usual. And like I said, Natasha Denona will be coming up soon, I promise. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon.